In heading, family tree of dogs. So as missing letters, you have to write carnivores. Then the picture of seal is given. Raccoon, hyena, dog. I'll repeat: seal, raccoon, hyena, hyena. Then dog. Then under that comes panda, bear, here under dog, dog or canine family. Under that you can write domesticated. Domesticated. Write the correct spelling. This is to check whether you have understood the passage and whether you are writing the correct spelling. Under wild you can write wolf, W-O-L-F, fox, F-O-X, coyotes, C-O-Y-O-T-E-S, correct pronunciation is coyotes, C-O-Y-O-T-E-S. Then jackal, jackal, J-A-C-K-A-L. Then wild dog. I'll repeat: seal, raccoon, hyena, dog or canine. Here panda, bear, domesticated. Here wolf, fox, coyotes, jackal, wild dog. Hope you all have understood. Then children, there is one speaking exercise given in page 26 of your text. Honeysuckle, page 26, speaking. That we'll do as a class activity when you come back to school. Need not do anything now. You just have to prepare. I told you that you need 2 notebooks for English. That is, one is for writing the notes and other one for writing the assignments. If it is a big book, it's well and good. Here are some points from a similar story that you might have read in another language. Dividing the class into 2 groups, try and tell the story in English. It is written. 1 person from each group can speak alternately. Means from one group one will speak, then from the other group some other person will speak, like that. We'll do it in class when you come back. Your teacher will help you. As you tell it, one of you may write it down on the book. A mouse maiden. It's a story that everybody knows. It's a familiar story. Just go through the points given. Just understand the story. You can ask your parents or grandparents about the story, A Mouse Maiden, how the mouse changed into a girl, changed herself into a girl by a magician, then wants to marry the strongest person. So it's a similar story. Here, just like the dog wanted to find a strong master, here the girl wanted to marry the strongest person. So just ask somebody about the story, understand the story, and you can do it in class as a class activity. Just write the story in your assignment book. I am repeating this story about which is given in page 26. You have to understand the story from your parents or grandparents. Ask them and write the story in short in your assignment book, so that you can do it as a class activity. Remember the points given here in the text. There are few points. 6 points are given about a mouse maiden. You have to understand the story, write the story, and you will have to speak in class. We will be doing it as a speaking test, class activity. That will be quite interesting for you when you come back to class. Okay? So we have finished that lesson. I hope you all have read the lesson well. I'll ask a few questions based on the lesson. Understood? And I'll put a short assessment too. Now let us go on to the next poem, The Kite. Shall we do The Kite? It's a very interesting poem written by Harry Ben. Kite, the kite. Just listen, need not write anything. Put down your pen and just listen. Look at the board, look at the screen. The Kite, written by Harry Benn. The poet's name is Harry Benn. Harrybehen. Harry Benn. That H is silent. Ben, H is silent. Harry Benn was an American writer. He was a screen writer, actually script writer, and a writer who wrote children's stories. Understood? Very interesting stories. Here he has written a poem on the kite. How many of you have flown kites? You like flying kites? Even elders do that, no? Varieties of kites are available in the market now, and you can make varieties of kites. You can do that now, as you don't have much work at home now. You are free. Much of the time you are free. After your classes in the evening, you can spend time, or in the afternoons you can spend time making these kites with colorful papers. You can get colorful papers from the shop and make kites like this. Can you see? Do you like flying kites? It gives you a lot of pleasure, flying kites. Seeing the kite up in the sky, colorful kites up in the sky, in the blue sky. Imagine you go to a hillside or you go to a playground and fly kites with your friends, with your siblings. How good it is, no? You can spend a lot of time flying kites. There are varieties of kites in the shape of cartoon characters. Various designs are available in the market. But ask your parents or your grandparents how they have made kites years back. They'll be using bits of paper. They might have used newspapers. They might have used color papers, glitter papers and all that to make kites. But nowadays, there is no difficulty in making a kite. In various designs, it is available in the market, and you can make various designs of kites, any shape. But it needs a long tail, you know, in order to fly high up in the sky in the wind. And you need a string also. You should get practice, proper practice to move the string, to wind it up and to unwind the string. It's good. Understood? So see the heading given there, the kite, and the name of the poet, Harry Benn. The Kite, written by Harry Benn. I told Harry Benn is an American writer who mostly wrote children's literature. He was a script writer too, a screenwriter too. All of us like to fly kites. It is written as an introduction. All of us, whether it be young children or elders, we all love to fly kites. Have you ever tried to fly one? The author is asking, the poet is asking, have you ever tried to fly one? Read this poem about a kite as it flies in the sky. If you have not done so, try flying one today or this week. Make one. Understood? And when you can ask someone how to make that kite. Understood? You need a few things for that. So have you ever tried to fly one? Read this poem about a kite as it flies in the sky. So imagine a kite being flown high up in the sky. See the pictures given here? Beautiful kites, varieties, different designs. You can make kites, design of Pokemon, design of other cartoon characters. Okay. So let us read the poem. How bright on the blue is a kite when it's new. Blue here means the blue sky. So the poet says that how bright on the blue, how bright or how beautiful the kite looks high up on the blue means the blue sky. Blue sky, yeah? Blue means the blue sky mentioned here, the blue sky. Bright means vibrant, very bright color. You can imagine any color, how bright on the blue. Blue means the blue sky, bright means the vibrant color. The colorful kite is a kite when it's new. It's a new kite, you know. It's high up. Somebody is flying the kite and the kite is very bright in color and it appears very bright on the blue sky. Is a kite when it's new. See the words blue and new, it rhymes, no? Mark the rhyming words as you read. Without me telling, you can mark the rhyming words. With a dive and a dip, it snaps its tail. With a dive and a dip means it's coming down and going up. So it's the first time, you imagine you are flying it for the first time. So you won't be an expert in flying kite, no? So with a dive and a dip, at first it dives and dips, it goes down. It won't fly high. Why? Because you are not an expert. This boy mentioned in the poem is not an expert maybe. So with a dive and dip, it snaps its tail. Snapping its tail means tail is the string mentioned here. String. So as you move the string and try to fly the kite up, it snaps its tail. It makes a cracking noise, you know. It makes a cracking noise. Cracking noise as it tries to fly high because of the wind. Then soars like a ship with only a sail. See, then soars. What is soaring? Going up in the sky. Haven't you seen birds soaring up in the sky? In the blue sky, going up. Going up. Soaring high means going up. It then soars like a ship. Here, the movement of the kite is compared to the movement of a ship. Like a ship. See, you can see in this picture, a ship with mast. What is the use of this mast? These are clothes, no? Canvas or clothes can be made of any material, mast. Because when air fills in this mass, it gets the strength to move forward. With that force, it moves forward. Just like that, in the kite also, when it gets filled with air, it spreads widely and it goes up when it fills. So this is compared to this. Kites are compared to ships. Understood? So this kite is compared to ship. Then soars like a ship. The poet says that it goes up. Just as a ship moves in the sea along with the waves, with the floating of the waves. Just like that, the kite with the wind soars up like a ship. See, here the poetic device used a simile. You are comparing the kite with the ship. The movement of the kite with the movement of the ship. Then soars like a ship. You underline this, like a ship. The poetic device used a simile, comparison. Comparison. You are comparing the movement of the kite with the movement of the ship. So, in simile, remember, you use like or as. Like or as. If it comes like this, like a ship or as a ship or something, you write simile, S-I-M-I-L-E. Don't write smile. The spelling is S-I-M-I-L-E. Simile, you use like or as. Like a ship. Remember, I'll repeat the line once again. Then soars like a ship. Like a ship means simile, comparison. You are comparing the movement of the kite to the movement of the ship. With only a sail. Here, the sail of the ship is mentioned. Sail. When the sail gets filled with air, wind, it moves forward. Just like that, when the kite, this portion of the kite gets filled with air, it goes up. So as a ship moves over the tides, over the waves, as over tides here means the water current, the waves, of wind it rides. So on the sea it rides, of wind it rides. So with the wind, the ship moves forward. Just like that, climbs to the crest. Climbs to the crest means the top portion. What is mentioned here? The movement of the kite. Climbs to the crest of a gust. Gust means strong wind. Here gust means the push of wind. Of a gust. G-U-S-T means the push of wind. Strong wind. When strong wind comes, when it is windy, when there is enough breeze, the kite goes up and pulls forward. Pulls, drives, get driven forward, up. then seems to rest as wind falls. There is a full stop. Then seems to rest. When there is no wind, the kite cannot fly. So, as wind falls, it seems to rest. When the wind stops, it seems to rest. So, I'll repeat. We'll read from line 1 till as wind falls. How bright on the blue, how vibrant it looks on the blue sky, is a kite when it's new. It's a new kite mentioned here. You can imagine the kite going up in the sky with the wind, with a dive and a dip. The child is not an expert in flying kites, so it may dive and dip at first. It snaps its tail. It snaps its tail with a cracking noise. It goes up, then soars like a ship. Then when wind comes, when breeze comes, it goes up. Soars means going up, like a ship. I told the poetic device used a simile comparison with only a sail. Means just as the ship has got sail, here it has got tail actually. Tail, the string tail of the kite also mentioned. As over tides of wind it rides. So just as the ship goes forward with the wind, on the waves, on the strong currents, it floats, sails forward. Here the kite goes up, climbs to the crest. Climbs to the crest means goes up, of a gust and pulls. Gust here means the strong wind that drives it forward, that takes it up and pulls. Then seems to rest. Then seems to rest means after some time. Seem to rest means why? There is no wind as wind falls. When the wind stops, again the wind comes. Understood? When the wind comes, it again soars up. When the wind stops, it also seems to take rest. So please memorize from line 1 till as wind falls. Just read it out now. Just read it out now. Silent reading, all of you. I'll read that time. You look in your book or look on the screen and just read it along with me. Silent reading, not aloud. How bright on the blue is a kite when it's new. So give that rhythmic effect, just as a song you recite. How bright on the blue is a kite when it's new. With a dive and a dip, it snaps its tail. Then soars like a ship with only a sail. As over tides of wind it rides. Climbs to the crest of a gust and pulls. Then seems to rest as wind falls. Again, one more time. How bright on the blue is a kite when it's new. So blue and new and all you underline. Those are rhyming words. With a dive and a dip, it snaps its tail. Then soars like a ship with only a sail. So underline this tail and sail and all. As over tides of wind it rides. Tides and rides, underline. Climbs to the crest of a gust and pulls. Then seems to rest as wind falls. So have you all underlined this crest and rest? So underline the rhyming words. Underline the poetic device simile, comparison, like a ship. Have you all underlined? Then, have you all marked the new words here? Blue means the blue sky. Bright means vibrant. Dive and dip means at first it dives and dips. Shows the movement of the kite at first. At first it doesn't soar up. At first it dives and dips, comes down as you try to fly it. It snaps its tail, means the cracking noise that it makes as it goes forward, up. Then soars like a ship. Soars means going up, soaring up. S-O-A-R, soar. With only a sail, means the movement of the ship with the movement of the kite. Compared there. As over tides, just as the ship moves over tides. Tides here means the waves, the water current through which the ship sails. Of wind it rides. So the wind takes the ship forward. Then the mast or the sail gets filled. The sail gets filled with air and takes the ship forward through the tides, through the waves. Just like that, here the kite soars up in the sky when it gets filled with air. So here the sails get filled with air. Here the kite spreads its wings when it gets filled with air. This goes up, the kite goes up, soars up in the sky, whereas the ship goes forward through the tide, through the water current, the motion of the ship compared to the motion of the kite. So I'll repeat once again the poem. How bright on the blue is a kite when it's new. With a dive and a dip, it snaps its tail. Then soars like a ship with only a sail. Okay, I'll repeat. With a dive and a dip, it snaps its tail. Then soars like a ship with only a sail. As over tides of wind it rides. This is the movement of the ship mentioned. As over tides, as over water current of wind it rides. The wind takes it forward. When wind comes, the sails get filled with air and takes the ship forward. It floats, it sails on the water current, on the tides. Tides means the waves. Movement of the waves. Climbs to the crest of a gust and pulls. This is the movement of the kite mentioned here. Climbs to the crest, goes up, of a gust means strong wind. The strong wind mentioned here, the sudden rush of wind. Gust means the sudden rush of wind. Sudden rush of wind. The sudden rush of wind mentioned here. Gust means the sudden rush of wind. And pulls, then seems to rest as wind falls. Then it seemed to rest. When there is no wind, what happens? It seems to rest. It stops flying. Why? Then again the wind has to come. Then again the breeze has to come in order to take it forward, take it up in the sky. So it is mentioned by Harry Ben that all of us like to fly kites. Have you ever tried to fly one? Read this poem about a kite as it flies in the sky. I'll read the poem once again. How bright on the blue is a kite when it's new. With a dive and a dip, it snaps its tail. Then soars like a ship with only a sail. As over tides of wind it rides. So it is comparing, the poet is comparing the movement of the kite with the movement of the ship. As over tides of wind it rides, climbs to the crest. Crest means the top portion, top. Of a gust, gust means sudden rush of wind, and pulls, then seems to rest. Then again it seems to rest. Why there is no movement? Because as wind falls, as the wind stops, it stops flying. Okay, now all will have to mark the rhyming words, mark the new words, write the meanings, memorize line 1 till as wind falls. I'll ask tomorrow. I'll ask in the next class. I'll ask in the next class. Only, how many lines are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You are asked to memorize 12 lines for today. I will ask in the next class. I will be asking in the next class these 12 lines. I'll call anyone. I'll ask you to recite the 12 lines of the poem. The 12 lines of the poem. And one more thing I'll have to say. You take your grammar text, not now. After my class, you have to take your grammar text. Today evening, you have to take your grammar text and turn the pages, and towards the end of the text, I think after many pages, you can see comprehension passages given. Take any one comprehension passage, reading passage, read that and try to answer the questions given. That also you will have to submit, you will have to show me when you send me the notes. Any one passage you read, write questions and answers given after the passage. Do that. Understood?